Victor Lustig was not a thief. Thieves take things, often with the elegance of a brick through a window. Now, Victor was a confidence man. He didn't take your money, he convinced you to hand it to him with a polite smile and a thank you note. Born in Bohemia in 1890, he spoke 5 languages fluently and possessed a charm so potent it was practically a controlled substance. Victor understood a fundamental social void. People don't listen to truth, they listen to the tone of the truth. If you look like you belong in a room, the room will eventually belong to you. He wasn't just winging it, he was scientist of human nature. He even left behind a 10 commandments for conmen, a dry, cynical guide to human psyche. Rule number 1, be patient listener. It is this, not a fast talker, that gets conman his scoops. Victor understood that if you let a man talk long enough, he will eventually tell you exactly how to rob him. He'll give you the blueprints to his own vault while you're nodding and sipping his expensive cognac. Before he hit Paris, he made his bones on transatlantic ocean liners selling the Romanian box. It was a mahogany device, he claimed, would print $100 bills using rare chemicals and a bit of a modern magic. He would find a wealthy mark on a steamship, someone with more money than sense, and show them a device that looked like it belonged in a Da Vinci sketch. He'd put a blank piece of paper in, and this is the genius part. He'd tell the mark it took exactly 6 hours for the chemical reaction to work. Why 6 hours? Because it forced the victim to sit with him for an entire evening. By hour 5, the victim wasn't just buying the machine, they were buying a friendship with a man who smelled like expensive lavender and looked like he'd never touched the door handle in his life. The machine would spit 2 genuine $100 bills Victor had hidden inside, and the mark would practically beg to buy the box for $30,000. By the time the next 6-hour cycle finished, the machine spit out a blank piece of paper. Victor was already on a different continent. By 1925, the Eiffel Tower was the world's most famous oops. It was built for the 1889 World Fair and was only supposed to stand for 20 years. By the mid-20s, it was a maintenance nightmare. It needed 60 tons of paint every 7 years to keep it from dissolving to a pile of orange flakes. The public hated it, the iron asparagus as they called it. The elite wanted it torn down. To a normal person, this was a civic problem. To a Victor, it was a 7,000-ton inventory list, and Victor had just walked into a scrapyard. He spent weeks perfecting the stationery of the Ministry on Posts and Telegraphs. He rented a suite at the Hôtel de Crillon, the most expensive hotel in Paris, because you can't sell a national monument from a flophouse. No, you need the aura of the state. He invited 5 of the city's top scrap metal dealers to a top secret meeting. He told them the city was going to demolish the tower, but wanted to avoid the public riot from the tourists. He watched them like a hawk. He wasn't looking for the richest man, he was looking for the one with the biggest insecurity. He found it in André Poisson. Poisson was a new money striver. He wanted respect, he wanted to be the man who secured the biggest contract in French history. Poisson was suspicious at first. His wife thought it was too good to be true. So Victor did something brilliant. He acted like a corrupt government official. He complained about his low salary. This was the masterstroke. Poisson thought a real official would be corrupt, therefore this man must be real. He didn't just pay for the tower, he paid a massive bribe on top of it, and Victor took the cash, the bribe, and the next train to the Austria. Victor waited in Vienna for the news of his arrest. It never came. André Poisson was so utterly gutted by the realization that he'd bought a 1,000-foot tall nothing that he never went to the police. He radicalized the concept of quiet loss. Victor realized that the void of human embarrassment was highest shield. He returned to Paris. He stayed at the same hotel and he sold the Eiffel Tower again to a new group of dealers. He is the only man in history to sell the same landmark twice without even owning a single bolt of it. Victor's most dangerous performance wasn't in Paris, it was in Chicago. He walked into Al Capone's office, a place where most people entered with a sweat and left in a crate, and asked for a $50,000 investment. Capone, intrigued by a man with such a massive gold-plated ego, gave it to him. Victor took the money and put it in a safe deposit box. He didn't touch it. He waited exactly 2 months, and then he returned to Capone's office looking defeated. He handed back every single cent. He told Capone, "The deal failed. I am ruined, but I cannot in good conscience keep your money." Capone was stunned. He had never met an honest criminal. He felt so sorry for Victor that he gave him $5,000 just to get back on his feet. Victor had just successfully scammed Al Capone by being the only man in Chicago who didn't steal from him. That's the moral void at its finest. You don't have to break the law to rob a man. You just have to be more honest than he expects you to be. Victor's final act was the counterfeit void. He teamed up with a master engraver to flood the US economy with Lustig money. It was so perfect that the Secret Service feared it would collapse the entire monetary system. They eventually caught him in 1935, but Victor wasn't done. While awaiting a trial in Federal House of Detention, Victor used a piece of wire to pick a lock, tied 9 bed sheets together, and dressed as a widow washer, climbed down the outside of the building in a broad daylight. New Yorkers watched him and actually waved. They didn't see a fugitive, they saw a hard-working man doing a dangerous job. Victor understood that if you act like you're working, the world becomes invisible. People literally watched him escape and thought he was just doing maintenance. He was eventually recaptured and sent to Alcatraz, where he died in 1947. On his death certificate under occupation, the clerk wrote, "Apprentice salesman," a dry final insult to the man who had sold the world's most famous tower. Victor Lustig proved that a void isn't just an empty space, it's a mirror. He showed us that our own greed, our own need for status, and our own fear of looking stupid are the most valuable things a con man can sell back to us. He didn't invent the lies, he just gave us the ones we wanted to believe. Thanks for watching the life and crimes of the man who sold the world. If you want to see more deep dives into the shadows of history, hit the subscribe button. I'm going back to my perfume lab to see if I can capture the scent of a $30,000 mahogany box. Stay sharp and remember, if someone offers you a tower, ask for a receipt.